Whether you call them switch panels or button pods makes no difference to me. I'm going to walk you through the install. First, help me give a big thank you to MotoMillion. They sent me these switches for the sole purpose of letting me do an install video for the channel. If you're looking for high-end parts, take a peek at their site. If you find something you like, use their discount code Dutchman to save a few bucks. These things are built tough and designed to survive crashes. They're machined from aluminum and have an IP67 certification, meaning they're dust and waterproof. I suppose if it's good enough for MotoGP, it's good enough for me. You're about to see the easiest part of this install is connecting the new switches right to the stock wiring harnesses. It's a good thing that these are so easy to install because the only literature that came in the box is the test results for each unit. They want to be sure that you know these buttons have more pulsante than you could possibly imagine.
Corretto.
For this job, you're going to be removing a few fairings, so you'll need a 2.5, 3, and 4mm hex. Depending on where you attach these switches, you might need a 5mm as well. Start by using the 3 and 4mm hex to remove the 4 screws holding the ignition cover. Get that out of the way and move on to the upper side fairings. These can be a bit tricky. Each side is similar, so let's use the right side of the bike as an example. There's a super secret 2.5mm screw above the front tire and 3mm near the engine case. Once those are out, move on to the 7 obvious screws. If you gently pull the fairing toward the front of the bike, you'll be able to release the rear tabs as well as the one behind the fairing near the center. Next, finesse the fairing back to unclip the tab near the front of the tank. Now remove the black trim panel by starting at the tank and working your way forward. The best way to do this is to push forward on the black piece and out on the red fairing if you need. Near the headlight, push forward to release the final hook, and the flat tab will slide right out. Follow the wire from the starter and kill switch back to the white connector. Disconnect it and attach the switch panel's wiring harness. Since I'm sending these back to MotoMillion, I'm not going to go crazy cutting zip ties, removing the old starter with a 3mm hex, or mounting the switch panel to the clip-on by reusing the 5mm cap screws on the brake. Once connected, you can see that the red button is a kill switch in the form of a push-to-make, push-to-brake latching switch. The black button will turn the starter. On the left side of the bike, there's a 2.5mm screw on the inside of the front wheel well and a 3mm by the engine case in addition to 8 obvious screws. The wiring harness on this side is tucked into the side of the front fairing. Connect the new switches here. These buttons will work your turn signals, high beams, horn, and the confirm cancel button. There are 2 buttons on the back that cycle the trip and info and traverse the menu. This side doesn't need to be mounted to the clutch, but you can if you want. These screws on the switch panel are a 4mm hex, but if you're going to attach it to the clutch, you would need a 5mm. If you're removing the stock switch, use a 3mm hex to back out those cap screws. Be sure to zip tie everything down nicely, replace all the panels in reverse order, and that's it! You did it! As always, thanks for watching. If this happens to be the first video of mine that you've seen, give the other videos a looky-loo and consider subscribing for more Panigale content. Until next time. Push those buttons.